This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, and welcome to this pre-recorded webinar on the grant opportunity for the National Technical Assistance Center to improve state capacity to collect, report, analyze, and use accurate early childhood IDA data. I'm Meredith Michelli, a project officer at the Office of Special Education Programs, or OSEP. The purpose of this webinar is to increase applicants' awareness and understanding of the requirements for the National Technical Assistance Center to improve IDA, Part C, and some of the Part B preschool data. Please note that information in the notice inviting applications for the 84.373Z grant opportunity will be summarized during this webinar. I strongly encourage you to read the original notice carefully and to view the recorded webinar with information about applying for OSEP's discretionary grants and submitting a grant application. Notice in particular the application's due date, which is September 11th. The agenda for this webinar covers 5 overarching topics. First, we will review the absolute priority for the competition. Then we will discuss the application requirements and other important information related to eligible applicants, funding amounts, and formatting. I will then present the opportunity's general requirements. Finally, I will share the selection criteria that will be used by our external peer reviewers when evaluating applications. This priority is from allowable activities specified in or otherwise authorized in Section 611C1 of the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act, or IDEA. The purpose of this priority is to establish a TA center to provide TA to 1, improve states' capacity to collect, report, analyze, and use high-quality IDA Part C early intervention data, including IDA Section 618 Part C data and Section 616 Part C data, and IDA Part B preschool special education data, which is limited to particular Part B preschool data elements required under IDA Section 616. And 2, enhance, streamline, and integrate statewide child-level early childhood data systems, including Part C and Part B preschool special education data systems, to answer critical policy questions that will facilitate program improvement, improve compliance accountability, and improve outcomes or results for children served under Part C early intervention and Part B preschool special education programs. The center will focus on providing technical assistance on collecting, reporting, analyzing, and using Part C data required under Sections 616 and 618 of IDA and Part B data on children with disabilities ages 3 through 5 required under Section 616 of IDA for those indicators that are not solely based on IDA Section 618 data. The next several slides describe the programmatic outcomes and application requirements that applicants must meet. The first requirement specifies the outcome that the project must be designed to achieve. That is, projects must achieve at a minimum the following outcomes. Increase capacity of states to collect, report, analyze, and use high-quality IDA Part C data, including IDA Section 616 Part C data and Section 618 Part C data, as well as increased capacity of states to collect, report, analyze, and use high-quality IDA Part B preschool special education data. Next, projects must achieve at a minimum the following outcomes. increased number of states that use their Part C early intervention and Part B preschool special education data systems to answer critical state-defined policy questions to drive program improvement, improve results for children with disabilities, and improve compliance accountability, as well as increase the number of states with integrated or linked Part C early intervention and Part B preschool special education data. Projects must also achieve, at a minimum, increase the number of states that will use linked or integrated early childhood data to improve programs and compliance accountability, increase the number of states with data systems integration plans that allow for linking of Part B and Part C special education data, as well as linking to other statewide longitudinal and early learning data, and that comply with all applicable privacy laws. Lastly, projects must achieve, at a minimum, increased capacity of states to implement and document Part C and Part B preschool special education data management policies and procedures and data system integration activities, and to develop a sustainability plan to continue this data management and data system integration work in the future, and increase the capacity of states to address personnel training needs to meet the Part C and Part B preschool special education data collection and reporting requirements under Section 616 and 618 of IDA through development of effective tools, such as training modules and resources, such as new Part C data manager resources, as well as providing opportunities for in-person and virtual cross-state collaboration about Part C data, those required under Section 616 and 618 of IDA, and the Part B preschool special education data collection and reporting requirements that states can use to train personnel in local programs and agencies. This slide provides an overview of other requirements for the application. More specific information related to these requirements is provided in the notice inviting applications. However, to summarize, the application must include personnel loading charts and timelines, must include a budget for required trips to Washington, D.C. for the project kickoff, project directors meeting, annual planning meetings, and other trips as requested by OSEP. It also needs to include a budget for an annual set-aside of 5% of the grant amount to support emerging needs that are consistent with the proposed project's intended outcomes. And it needs to include an assurance to maintain a high-quality website with an easy-to-navigate design that meets government or industry-recognized standards for accessibility. Further, the application must, 1, include an assurance to assist OSEP with the transfer of pertinent resources and products and to maintain the continuity of services to states during the transition to this new award period and at the end of this award period as appropriate. 2, describe how the project will ensure the recovery of indirect costs, that is the lesser of A, its actual indirect cost as determined by the grantee's negotiated indirect cost rate agreement with its cognizant federal agency, and B, 40% of its modified total direct costs, or MTDC, based as defined in 2 CFR 200.68. And 3, budget at least 50% of the grant award for providing targeted and intensive TA to states. This slide lists the eligible applicants for this competition. Applicants include SEAs, LEAs, including public charter schools that operate as LEAs under state law, IHEs, other public agencies, private nonprofit organizations, freely associated states and outlying areas, Indian tribes or tribal organizations, and for-profit organizations. This is a cooperative agreement. The estimated available funds are $6.5 million. Contingent upon the availability of funds and the quality of applications, we may make additional awards in FY 2020 from the list of unfunded applications from this competition. The estimated number of awards is 1, and the award size is $6.5 million for a single budget period of 12 months, with a budget period up to 60 months. This slide includes information about the formatting and page limit recommendations. Please double space all text in the application narrative and use a font that is 12-point or higher. We recommend that you limit the application narrative to no more than 70 pages. The program has 2 general requirements. The applicant must make positive efforts to employ and advance in the employment qualified individuals with disabilities in project activities. And it must improve individuals with disabilities or parents of individuals with disabilities ages birth through 26 in planning, implementing, and evaluating the project. The next set of slides will describe the selection criteria for the competition. Reviewers will be awarding points based on each section of the narrative and will be asked to rate the application based on the following criteria. 1, significance. 2, quality of project services. 3, quality of project evaluation. 4, adequacy of resources and quality of project personnel. And 5, quality of management plan. The first criterion is the significance of the project. Applications can receive up to 10 points for this criterion. Reviewers will consider the extent to which specific gaps or weaknesses in services, infrastructure, or opportunities have been identified and will be addressed by the proposed project, including the nature and magnitude of those gaps or weaknesses. 2, the importance of magnitude of the results or outcomes likely to be attained by the proposed project. The second criterion is the quality of project services. Applications can receive up to 35 points for this criterion. Reviewers will consider the extent to which the goals, objectives, and outcomes to be achieved by the proposed project are clearly specified and measurable. 2, the extent to which there is a conceptual framework underlying the proposed research or demonstration activities and the quality of that framework. 3, the extent to which the services to be provided by the proposed project reflect up-to-date knowledge from research and effective practices. 4, the extent to which the training or professional development services to be provided by the proposed project are of sufficient quality, intensity, and duration to lead to improvements in practice among the recipients of those services. 5, the extent to which the TA services to be provided by the proposed project involve the use of effective strategies, including the use of technology as appropriate and the leveraging of non-project resources. 6, the adequacy of mechanisms for ensuring high-quality products and services from the proposed project. The third criterion is the quality of project evaluation. Applications can receive up to 15 points for this criterion. Reviewers will consider, first, the extent to which the methods of evaluation are thorough, feasible, and appropriate to the goals, objectives, and outcomes of the proposed project. 2, the extent to which the methods of evaluation provide for examining the effectiveness of project implementation strategies. 3, the extent to which the methods of evaluation will provide performance feedback and permit periodic assessment of progress towards achieving intended outcomes. And 4, the extent to which the methods of evaluation include the use of objective performance measures that are clearly related to the intended outcomes of the project and will produce quantitative and qualitative data to the extent possible. The fourth criterion is adequacy of resources and quality of project personnel. Applications can receive up to 15 points for this criterion. Reviewers will consider 1, the qualifications, including relevant trainings and experience of the project director or principal investigator. 2, the qualifications, including relevant training and experience of key project personnel. 3, the qualifications, including relevant training and experience of project consultants or subcontractors. 4, the qualifications, including relevant training, experience, and independence of the evaluator. 5, the adequacy of support, including facilities, equipment, supplies, and other resources from the applicant organization or the lead applicant organization. 6, the relevance and demonstrated commitment of each partner in the proposed project to the implementation and success of the project. 7, the extent to which the budget is adequate to support the proposed project. And 8, the extent to which the costs are reasonable in relation to the objective, design, and potential significance of the proposed project. The fifth criterion is the quality of management plan. Applicants can receive up to 25 points for this criterion. Reviewers will consider first the adequacy of the management plan to achieve the objectives of the proposed project on time and within budget, including clearly defined responsibilities, timelines, milestones for accomplishing project tasks. 2, the extent to which the time commitment of the project director and principal investigator and other key project personnel are appropriate and adequate to meet the objectives of the proposed project. 3, the adequacy of mechanisms for ensuring high-quality products and services from the proposed project. And 4, how the applicant will ensure that a diversity of perspectives are brought to bear in the operations of the proposed project, including those of parents, teachers, the business community, a variety of disciplinary and professional fields, recipients or beneficiaries of services, and others as appropriate. Thank you for your time and attention. Again, I strongly encourage you to read the notice carefully and to view the recorded webinar with information about applying for OSEP's discretionary grants and submitting a grant application. And please pay careful attention to the application due date and time provided in the notice. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions about the OSEP grant opportunity for the National Technical Assistance Center to improve the state capacity to collect, report, analyze, and use accurate early childhood IDA data. Thank you again.